Hey guys, yeah, are we live? Yeah, yeah, are we currently live? Yeah, okay. Is there people there? Okay, hang on a minute. Oh, is everything okay? Yeah, headset? Yeah, are we live? Okay, okay, alright. Yeah, are we live now? Yeah, okay. Do I need these on? Okay, quick, take these off. Oh, I don't need these on. Oh, okay. Take, okay, hang on a minute. What? I need a little bit of wind. A little bit of wind. Hat off, yeah? Hang on. A little bit of wind. A little bit of wind. A little bit of wind. Hat on, hat on. Well, I've got my backpack on, so hat on. Yeah, put a hat on. Okay. Okay, so guys, we're live up in a mountain right now, and we've got such a beautiful view from up here, and it's absolutely lovely. And you're all watching the TV right now, being completely manipulated by the media, because I'm actually inside my flat. Anyway, I was trying to see if it would work, but it probably won't. So, hey guys, how are you doing? Hello there, Maria. Hope you get on longer this time. Well, hopefully, I'm on normal internet and I've got a little bit more battery, not enough battery, but a little bit more battery. Um, so, anyway, how is the pantomime for you guys? Have you all got your. I like sweet, so have you all got your popcorn ready? So, I have my popcorn ready, so. And a couple of bit of munchies. I shouldn't really eat too much crap, but the show is just so funny, isn't it? It's unraveling before your very eyes, and it's been so interesting for me and painful as well, because obviously this affects me personally because of Aaron and Faith. And yes, that is real, it is true, that really actually happened. I don't work for social, I'm not an MI5, all these blogs, blah 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 blah. Aaron and Faith really were taken from Marlow Hospital on the 13th of December at 9 something 2012, and I have been gagged ever since. So anyway guys, I think you all realise the masks that have been absolutely yanked off of the people, and it's going to be really painful for some people to realise that the illusion has been so deep, and it's going to be really hard for you to realize that, like, I mean, take this for example. What year do you think the word corona was coined? Like, I mean, I have to double check the actual date, but don't think this is something new. Corona was coined back in, oh fucking hell, I can't even think what century it was. So I'd have to double check and go on to the thing when corona was basically, I always talk as branches of a tree, don't I? So imagine an oak tree. So take away the oak tree and go corona tree. So here's the corona tree, and the corona tree is a root that goes on and it's got all these branches. So that's basically pneumonia, the common cold, asthma, and all these things that are to do with bronchitis. You can't talk to me about respiratory, the difference between having a mask and oxygen to actually having a track down your throat. I have vocal cord dysfunction. It's part of EDS. I have been failed by the NHS for years because of incorrect intubation when I have had respiratory issues. This is something that has gone on in the NHS for a long time, not having the correct equipment. I even know that I was sat in the waiting room for Graham one day, and Graham come out, he said, can you run down to B&Q for us? He said, because we've gone through one of the bolts on the leg. And he said, and I need some new screws. So I went down, I've had exactly the same size. And how much I paid for them at B&Q and how much they actually were, because they were classed as medical equipment, just because they'd been sterilised. They were no different. The screws were not made any different. They were made of exactly the same thing. It was just that one of them was for B&Q for you to use to do DIY, and the other one was for putting somebody's hip together. And the craziness in the prices is unbelievable. Don't forget, my ex-husband works for Eshman, which is a supplier of hospital beds. Um, there's always been an issue with the NHS. But look how still it is now. I'm in the middle of a city, mate. I mean, you've been on my lives for how long now? You know the sound of outside my flat. You know the headaches that I get just because of the amount of police cars and ambulances and all of this stuff. It's just a stage. It's just a stage. Look. That person in the car is just going on about their day. Who knows? Maybe it's a nurse, maybe it's a doctor, maybe it's a carer. Who knows? We don't know anybody's lives. We don't know anything that anybody is doing personally. But when we deal with things like government and blah, 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 they have things called Bill of Rights and human rights and white papers and blue papers and all this sort of stuff, and budgets and money trails and paper trails, and everybody has a paper trail. Everybody has a paper trail someplace, some form. I mean, look, clearly Royal Mail is working because it's so important to send me my. Do you want to see what it is? I don't want my address going out either. It keeps me safe. You want to shoot me, shoot me. You want to poison me, poison me. You want to bless me, bless me. You want to hinder me, whatever. So basically, notice of debt recovery. One Parking Solutions, direct collection bailiff. Fear, 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 fear. Guess what it's got? TV Channel 5. Can't pay. We'll take it away. But I get it. At the end of the day, if you go into a legal binding contract, blah, 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 blah. But who went into this legal binding contract? Hang on a minute, look what's on the road. Oh, he's gone the other way. You know, all these little cars are all the same that are out and about at the moment. Jamie and I both, Jamie lives up at another block up and across the way, and we both eyeballed something tonight and talked about it, and I was a bit weird about it. I was actually stood at my window because I've had both my windows open while I've been trying to sort things out, and somebody was just stood with a bike, just sort of stood still on the phone. Who knows, maybe they were riding on a bike and in the back of their backpack they heard a vibration or felt a vibration and stopped and answered their phone and was just stood there kind of coincidentally. But they were also sort of like quickly took a photograph up and stuff like that. But I actually stopped and looked down. Well, anyway, Jamie said he then went around and took a photograph of the basketball thing. Okay, maybe it's just a complete and utter random stranger just observing people in flats and is amused by it. No coincidence to me whatsoever. However, someone said to me the other day about being not necessarily watched by so many like you, but more people out there. I don't know if you can see that clock tower. I'll point it to you. That is the Civic Hall. That there is the council office. Didn't Trump nail it tonight? I haven't had a chance to catch up properly, but because it's all on lockdown and stuff. But I already know what's going to be said and how many layers are going to come out and where it's coming from. But you know, at the end of the day, listen to something, right? Go onto a Disney song from Tangled, right, and listen to it. Like seriously, like, hang on, let me do something. Seriously, just listen to them. I'll take the backpack off now. I was trying to pretend that I was out and about just to show an illusion. I'm going to take my jacket off. So. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, I can't really play all of that. Hang on a minute. That's too long. Let me just play something for you. Like I say, do your own research. Don't listen to me. I wish I could actually put videos together at the moment, so now it'd be up instead of you looking at me and blah, 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 blah. But just listen to this. I'm not usually an advocate of Disney, by the way, as you know, so... Let me go for a small one. I don't want to pull up ones where people are faking it and changing the words, so hang on a minute. Because some of them you've got to be careful. If you haven't heard it before, people have actually edited it and you've just not worked it out. So make sure it is actually... I had to go back and double check, and I was like, hang on. I think this is it.
I am fulfilling my promise to Demanitus by destroying Corona. Do you honestly think you can stand up to my power? I am not backing down.
Anyway, that's not what I want to talk to, but this is what I want to talk about. Because while all this is going on, the thing that concerns me is we, are not carrying on. And this is a perfect time right now to basically... I'm going to ask everyone to do something a little bit sneaky for me. And basically plant some sunflower seeds, daisy chains, flowers and stuff like that, because what it's going to do is encourage people to come to the front of your garden. When people come for your front of your garden, you're going to get ready to basically put up a signpost, and that signpost will come a little bit later when summer's actually here. So at the moment I need you to harvest, because it's their harvest time, but it's our sowing seeds time. So let them have their harvest. They'll never win. They haven't won. They haven't won. It's just that you've all got to wake up and realise what's going on and just, you know, take your own power back. So basically another illusion, just to say to you, is as you're watching YouTubes and people's videos and stuff like that, a lot of them are actors. So please be careful of people currently at the moment talking about pride. Proud of you. Really proud of you all. Be careful. Pride was the hardest sin created and the hardest sin to beat. The other one is rebel. I'm not here to rebel, so don't rebel. Right, okay. Cable, gone. No money. Boom. Other people have come to deal with. What you've got to remember is when there's a good versus bad fight is never ever like chess, where there's light and dark. It's never ever like that. There's always people coming from all angles. It's what you're dealing with is the 7 kingdoms. So you're not just dealing with 1 against 1 right now. This ain't a fair fight that's going on right now. We haven't got 1 against 1 right now. We've got, like, you know, it's like coming from 7 fucking angles right now. Plus the people that are going, fuck this shit and this is really bullshit. Plus the people who are going, ah, and plus the people who are going, and plus the people are going, and then other people are going, and then other people are just going, and some people are going, right, and realise it, and then some people are standing outside and going, fuck me, mate, that sounds like a fucking prison. Is this a prison? And some people are realising that the big illusion of the grand big prison that we're all actually living in is a little bit more plugged in and switched on than people think. But anyway, during this time, we are not talking about I need to be a little bit more, I can't go right into it with you because your brains just won't take it. So I'm going to go a little bit softy. Some of you here can take it, so post the real shit underneath. The ones that are just coming into it, I need to be a little bit softer with you.
Vampire's real? Not the sparkling kind, but the drinking blood to stay young forever kind. Well, science says maybe. Hey guys, Julia here for D-News. Okay, science doesn't actually say that, but science has started to notice that blood, specifically young blood, might have rejuvenating properties, which is just crazy interesting. But why exactly that is, no one is certain. Yet, one new study points to a new unknown molecule. In this study published in Nature Communications, scientists found that young blood could heal broken bones. Alright, so this gets a little, well, gross. But scientists can join the circulatory systems of pairs of mice in a process called parabiosis, which means living besides. Basically, scientists stitch together the tissues of two mice so an old mouse and a younger mouse would share a blood supply. I know, it totally seems like an antique thing, and it is kind of old. Clive McKay of Cornell University first pioneered this technique in the 1950s, but for some reason it's experiencing a resurgence now. Yeah, I know, it's a little too much like Frankenstein. But what's interesting, besides the whole sewing together mice thing, is that the researchers think this means that young blood cells secrete some molecule or protein that helps heal the body and keeps it young. And as an organism ages, they lose the ability to make this molecule. Previously, it was thought that GDF11, a molecule that circulates throughout the blood, was the fountain of youth. But a recent study contradicts that finding. This new study, published in the journal Cell Metabolism, found that as mice aged, the more of this molecule circulated in their bloodstream. And as researchers injected aging mice with this molecule, the worse their muscles repaired themselves. So who really knows right now? But even though scientists are still figuring that out, other studies show that there's really something powerful about young blood. Other studies, like one published in journal Nature Medicine, found that young blood recharged the brains of older mice. Researchers ran mice through standard laboratory tests after they received an infusion of plasma from young mice. They did much better on the test than older mice without young blood coursing through their veins. Curiously, that improvement was gone if the blood had been heated beforehand, which again suggests there's something going on with the protein.
You still
in young
there?
blood,
You still
because heat's the
digesting
nature of
this?
protein. Or basically, when proteins get heated up, they lose their shape and don't work so well, kind of like ice cream melting on a summer day. Other studies also showed how young blood pumps up older brains. In one study published in the journal Nature, after being exposed to young blood, the brains of older mice looked more like that of a younger mouse. Nerve cells in their hippocampi were better at forming connections, which is basically what learning and memory is. But wait, there's more. In a similar Frankensteinian experiment, researchers stitched together older mice with a young mouse. They found that the young mouse blood rejuvenated the hearts of older mice. The older mice suffered from cardiac hypertrophy, a condition which thickens and swells the heart. After just 4 weeks of getting young blood from the other mouse, their heart shrank to a normal size. All of these studies sure make you want to drink a nice tall glass of young blood, eh? Okay, well, I know, these studies have all been in mice, but researchers are already trying to see what could happen in humans. In October of 2014, researchers at Stanford University gave transfusions of blood plasma donated by people under 30 to older volunteers with mild to moderate Alzheimer's. The results? We don't know quite yet. So maybe Dracula had it right all along, but I guess you could say more research is needed. While we're talking about blood, have you ever wondered why there are different blood types? Julian has the answer right here in this video.
What do the letters and plus-minus symbols actually denote? They're describing little surface markers on the blood cells called antibody generators, or antigens for short. Antigens come in a lot of different varieties, and your body's immune system attacks cells with antigens that don't match your own.
What do you think? Is this whole thing cool or creepy? Let us know down in the comments below. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons and keep coming back here to D.
Okay, so I'm not 100% sure who's ready for the next level. Now, I've got to be able to spell it, be able to pull the video up to give you the information, not directly from me, but from them. Let me see if I can spell it for a bit. Oh, let me just show you something. So you're going to have to watch it yourself. Like I said, do your own research. Oh, hang on a minute. Let me just go back and give you the trailer. I'll give you the trailer. I've just seen the trailer come up. So let me just give you the trailer rather than the full video. Let's give you the trailer for a minute. Because I can do the full trailer then, rather than when do I stop.
It's advancing faster and taking less time to be widely adopted than ever before.
launch AI?
AI is basically an emulation of us.
They're one very special person to me.
Autonomous driving started.
AI can give us that answer that we've been seeking all along. Are we alone?
Each time we create a
You
more
still there?
powerful technology, we create a bigger lever for changing the world.
Artificial intelligence can help us to feed the world population.
AI is teaching the machine, and the machine becoming smart.
All out of the realm of sci-fi and magic, and now just science.
Right?
We're at the dawn of a new age. The age of AI.
How far do you want me to take you down that rabbit hole right now? Shall I just give you a few... Let's just remind us about somebody. Ready? They said it would go away.
Britain's Independent says Prince Andrew made brief but rare public comments about a sex scandal. He denies all allegations of having sex with an American teenager years ago. The fact that the royal said anything surprised many. Mark Phillips is in London with how this move affects the image
Am I still
of
connected?
Buckingham Palace. Mark, good morning.
Good morning. Well, Prince Andrew may be only fifth in line for the throne, but he's first for lurid newspaper headlines these days. Take a 17-year-old girl, take a prince with a suspect friend, throw in the lawyers, and it's a pretty exciting cocktail. They look chummy enough in the picture, but what Virginia Roberts says happened, Prince Andrew says didn't. In Andrew's name, Buckingham Palace has already issued a series of unprecedented denials that he had had sex with the teenage Roberts while she was still a minor. And now at the World Economic
While she
Summit
was still
in
a
Davos,
minor.
Switzerland, where the business and government elite had gathered, Andrew felt compelled to address the claims at a reception he was holding.
Now let's go back.
Prince Andrew's role as a British trade envoy is not under review, Downing Street insists today, saying
9
the Prime
years
Minister
ago.
has full confidence in him. This ringing endorsement, however, appeared at odds with this morning's comments by the Business Secretary Vince Cable, who said it was up to the Prince to decide if he wanted to continue. The Duke of York himself carried on with a scheduled visit in East London today, although it wasn't long before more controversy about his links with a convicted paedophile emerged, thanks to his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson. Katie Razzle has this report.
Business as usual is how it's being described.
Prince Andrew, are you resigning?
On a visit to the London Crossrail
9
project
years
this morning,
ago.
Prince Andrew didn't dignify that with an answer. But today, this list of companies, including high-profile names like Shell, Lloyds of London, Foster & Partners and Rolls-Royce, was sent out by UK Trade and Investment to endorse Prince Andrew's trade envoy role. The Duke of York brings in business to UK PLC, they say.
He's a solid professional. He knows what he's doing. He's interested in who he meets, and he asks very smart questions. No one really knows who Novosel is, but everyone knows who the Duke of York is, and they return his calls.
Like just
And his
2
offices
seconds.
are extraordinarily effective in following up and making sure I know.
Councils
I
across
could do with all my videos in order for you and try and get them out for you properly.
enormous fees.
You got
Artificial intelligence is making rapid strides. There's talk of a new evolution that could fundamentally change life on our planet. Artificial intelligence has the potential to revolutionize every aspect of daily life: work, mobility, medicine, the economy, and communication. But will AI really make medicine better and doctors superfluous?
medicine.
When will self-driving cars hit our roads? Will intelligent robots usurp our jobs? And are we heading for a dystopia with no privacy and total surveillance? What exactly is artificial intelligence, and how much can it really do? What will change, and what will remain pure fantasy? To answer these questions, we embarked on an exciting journey to meet the scientists working on our future in the US, Britain, Germany, and China.
What else do you want me to show you? What else do you want me to show you? Come on. Now, how deep down the rabbit hole do you want to go? Do you want to remember what we really truly stand for? I don't like showing some of this when my children are in the house, but it's sort of unsettling. I might have to just make sure I've got, while I do this. They actually choose to be in the living room, by the way, from somebody who had a go at me once for just 2 seconds. It's pretty young. Yeah, somebody had a go at me about my lights and stuff with the kids up. One, their dad's a DJ, and two, my kids choose to be in the living room. Just 2 seconds, I've just gone. And I don't have to do this at all. I already know this information, it's you that don't know it. I'm already aware of everything going on. Hello. So maybe just got to make sure I've got his thing, just in case, while I just continue. So, anyway. Just to remember why we are actually here.
These children need to be rescued.
The rhetoric of this government is much harsher than previous governments in terms of supporting adoption in contrast to the support given to birth families. And that is new, it is harsher, it fits very much with the language about welfare and the language about, almost it call it an underclass of people who are not fit to look after their children.
Emma Campbell, an independent social worker. The government's new Children and Families Act is likely to increase the number of cases.
Those who've been social workers for a long time went into social work.
Sorry, I'm opening something.
To support families.
Distracted by food, or are you actually aware of this?
In child protection.
Does it
and that is a major policy change.
Affect you?
An increasing number of mothers are so frightened they are fleeing abroad, helped by an unofficial network of supporters.
Over in France here, they do not believe me when I tell them that they can take children for emotional abuse.
And this is footage the social workers never wanted you to see. Britain is the only country in Europe which commonly allows adoption without parental consent.
Adoption is for good, and as soon as we can place a child in a loving home permanently, better for all concerned.
The government's new Children and Families Act is likely to increase the number of cases.
Those who've been social workers for a long time went into social work primarily to support families. The reality now is that they are almost exclusively involved in child protection. And that is a major policy change.
An increasing number of mothers are so frightened they are fleeing abroad, helped by a 6-hour-old baby is being taken away by social workers from his mother. It is a forced adoption, and this is footage the social workers never wanted you to see. Britain is the only country in Europe which commonly allows adoption without parental consent. By social workers from his mother. It is a forced adoption, and this is footage the social workers never wanted you to see. Britain is the only country in Europe which commonly allows adoption without. A 6-hour-old baby is being taken away by social workers from his mother. It is a forced adoption, and this is footage the social workers never wanted you to see. Britain. It is a forced adoption, and this is footage the social workers never wanted you to see. Britain is the only country in Europe which commonly allows adoption without parental consent.
Adoption.
And this is footage the social workers never wanted you to see. Britain. It is a forced adoption, and this is footage the social workers never wanted you to see. Britain is the only country in Europe which commonly allows adoption without parental consent.
Adoption is for good, and as soon as we can place a child in a loving home permanently, better for all concerned.
How you feeling? Many of us know the trauma of that feeling personally. Coronavirus is currently affecting the world personally. Stay at home. People don't start speaking out and doing something until it starts affecting them personally. One of the reasons that some of the GPs and nurses and stuff are speaking out is because now they're struggling. Yes, some schools are taking in nurses and staff, and they're building communities within, you know, childcare, because that's what school is basically. Childcare. For the service providers and service users sometimes. It has been turned around. Donald Trump is a very brave man to do what he's doing. And for those that don't realise, he's building another system around the state. And he's basically said to the state, if said thing was a problem, then you're incompetent anyway. But actually, there's a bigger picture than this, and he's doing it by layers. The UK is being intervened on by him to say, look, come on. It was America, England, China, and I can't remember what the other one was. And a few other things. There's a few other layers that you're not ready for, unless you actually know. Some parents aren't ready for all this stuff. Got to try and spell it. Blood. Let's see if it just comes up in a spelling it wrong. It's a bit difficult. Because I don't know how to spell it. It's not something that's part of my life on a daily basis. Do you know what I mean? It's just something that I know that these people do.